Okay, hi guys. Since we're new to Trello, I thought I'd do a really quick, brief screencast just to kind of give you a feel for how to use the Trello boards, but more specifically, how to use our main task management system, because it's going to be the big thing that we're going to need to definitely go to. So when you first sign into Trello, now you can see I've got a couple of other boards up here, but you should be on the TEDx team. If you're not, please contact either Casey Epley, myself, Lisa Pavi-Hegel, or anybody on the steering committee. They can get you hooked up. Once you get invited to the team and assigned to the board, you should have this one called Master Event Plan Tasks. You're going to click on that. And it's going to take you to this massive board. And this is why I wanted to do a quick screencast, because it can be a little bit overwhelming. First, there's some must-reads on the left-hand side that I think are really, really useful. It gives you some dates that we're doing, other pieces, but really we don't want ideas on this board. This is all progress toward tasks. Your team lead probably has a board set up for ideas and for knocking things around. This is so that all of the teams understand where everybody is at any given time. Okay, so now that you know what it's for, here's how to use it. This is, if you look at all of the tasks, it's quite overwhelming. I mean, it's just insane, the number of tasks that are involved. So rather than doing this every single time, we've color-coded it. So if you are on the event team, what you can do is click Show Menu, Filter Cards. And let's say you're on the event planning team. You click that, and now you're only going to see the tasks that pertain to the event. Okay, still might be quite a few. Now you'll note that many cards have multiples. That means that in order to get this complete, we require the input or the participation of everyone on that list. It doesn't mean that they're ultimately responsible. It means that they're the ones who need to kind of know about it. All right, so that's kind of how you filter. When you're done looking at your filters, you can always just click this X and everything appears. Another thing that you can do here is that you can filter cards by due date. All right, so you can actually go like what's due in the next day, week, month, has no due date, or is overdue. So it's another way of filtering the cards, which is pretty spiffy. Okay, all right, now let's look at the actual tasks and what they look like. All right, what you'll do is you'll click on the task, okay, and this is just a really simple one, speaker bios and photos posted to the website. There's not a whole lot of individual tasks in here, so let's say I've done that, I've completed it. The first thing is when I know it's going to be me or my team lead or whomever, I'm going to make sure that when I click here, I'm going to add myself to that card. I didn't want to go through and do this for everybody because I didn't know who was going to be doing what. But it's really important that you add yourself to a card to kind of claim it or say that you're kind of, I'm the one who's taking care of this. Okay. Also, if there is no due date on your card, please make sure that you put the due date on there. For example, I don't have the due date on that for that one, and I know it's in the list. So please make sure that all the due dates are up to date. If a card has multiple due dates, the first one is the current due date. Once you clear that task, please move the due date to the next one, and I'll show that to you in a second. So let's say I'm in the process of posting these bios. I'm going to put it here to the In Progress tab. That tells everyone that it's being done. Now let's say I'm like, uh-oh, I'm missing a bio. I click on the roadblock. If I need help, I'm going to click on it. I'm going to write a comment. So what I would do is I would comment here. I would say who I'm commenting to, that you do the @ sign and then the person's name. In this case, I'm going to put Casey, and her name should pop up. And it's going to let me tag different people in the group so that I can get help if I need it. Okay. If you put something in roadblock, we do ask that you actually add a person to it. If you just have a question, no big deal. You can go in the questions box, and then there is a task complete box right there when it's all done. All right. If you are needing to pay for something, or if you need money, I got to put this back where it goes. Okay. If you need to purchase something, then that's something that Demeter and Steve, who are in charge of the budget, need to know. So you would add your card over here and make sure you make a comment as far as what you do. And I think I'm going to actually move that over just a bit. Please do not move these around like I'm doing, just because I want to make sure that they are always where they're supposed to be. Now let's look at one where we have a whole bunch of pieces. Let's see. There we go. So here's one that actually has a checklist. You'll note that the due date is currently set for October 4th. That is the due date for the first item on the list. If you check this item off, please change the due date to the next one to make sure that we know exactly who's doing what and when it's going to be. If I have a date already set for that, I actually have it listed in the checklist. Please help me by editing these checklists and doing it, adding the dates. All right, one more thing. Sometimes you'll note that something like press releases are individual tasks, whereas VIP entertainment is one long process. I did this because if things were really kind of close together and didn't have a specific due date, I put them all together. If they had very specific due dates and if they were far apart, I put them as individual tasks so they wouldn't get lost. As always, if there is a way that we can improve this process or make it more useful, please do let me know. I hope that this is a useful tool for you. And if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to send me an email or ask for help. I'll be putting my email over here in the general information box so that you can kind of navigate this. I think that's everything. If you, as far as who needs to be on here, sorry, really the only people who should be accessing this master event plan should be your leads for specific areas. If that's relevant, like if it's relevant that they're on here, the steering committee and the leadership team. We don't want every single volunteer in here because we want people kind of mucking about and messing and moving cards and not telling us. Please never delete a card unless you've talked to me first. And I'm going to be going in here during our monthly meetings and kind of updating things just to make sure we're on the same page. All right, guys, I hope it's a useful tool. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.